Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. It's high age Barton time, baby. That's right, we have tonight Calumet Farms 16-year bourbon, a new release for 2022. Let's take a look at the bottle. What a gorgeous bottle. Look at that. So many facts on the front. We got this beautiful image of a horse and a jockey galloping. We have Calumet Farm in gold. Gold and black is this label. 16-year-old, almost legal. We have trainer Ben A. Jones, jockey Eddie Arcaro. I assume that's how you say that. 16-race win streak. First to $1 million. That's all about the horse. Those parts in there. But what's about the bourbon? Single rack black, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They give you the rack number here, W4005.09. That means literally nothing, so no one cares about that. 750 mils, though, still maintaining that good old U.S. standard. Batch size of 19 barrels. 19-barrel blend here. 106 proof. Compute, 53% alcohol by volume. And we have here non-chill filtered for added depth of character. Not depth of whiskey, but just depth of the character of the whiskey. That's important to note. Then it says Triple Crown winner citation here at the bottom. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the entire back. I'll put it up on the screen here, but it's all about the horse citation here on the back label, and really nothing about the bourbon. But what you should know is that this was the second Triple Crown winning horse from Calumet Farm, and he was the first major North American horse to amass $1 million in career earnings. So, an expensive horse, an expensive bottle. The MSRP does seem to vary between roughly $140 to $160, somewhere in there. So, not cheap, more expensive than last year's. I believe last year's were like $120-ish, something in that proof point. I will link it above. I did a Sam Houston 15 versus Calumet 15 video, so feel free to take a look at that. See which one I enjoyed more. But the rumor has it that you know, this is Barton juice supposedly, right? And every year they release it at one year older, right? So next year we expect to see Calumet 17, and we'll hopefully get a bottle and we'll talk about that. But this is the first year, I believe, that they are not doing the Sam Houstons. So Sam Houston and Calumet come from the same place. It's really the same juice, but Sam Houston is usually batched per state into much smaller batches. This is usually a single rack, as they call it, of 19 barrels. So this is a larger barrel blend. But as the juice gets older and they up the proof pretty much every year as well, there's going to be less bourbon to go around. So the rumor is they're not doing any more Sam Houstons. Last year's was it. Don't know if that'll be true or not. But let's get into tasting this bad boy here. It's got a good color to it. Not the darkest whiskey, but it certainly is not light. Give it a swirl. Oh, sweet heavens, that smells good. My gosh, what a nose. Tons of sweet oak, tons of caramel, like brown sugar. Wow. Just, it smells fantastically well aged, which it should be at 16 years old, right? It is a delicious nose. I'm getting, there's just caramel, oak, vanilla, brown sugar. The oak is a sweet oak, though. It's not a dry oak. It's a very desserty nose. Let's give it a sip. That is a delicious bourbon right there. Tons of sweet oak, the caramel, the brown sugar fades in the front to the mid palate, finishes with like a cherry, almond, and barrel char note. Delicious. Finishes pretty long finish. I wouldn't say though that it's a particularly thick feeling bourbon. It doesn't feel very like oily or thick. I think because at 106 proof it's obviously watered down. However, I will say that the proof point here is great. You get just the right amount of heat and lots of flavor. Lots of flavor. A delicious pour. Off the top of my mind, I woff the top of my mind, I will say that it's better than Calumet 15. But Sam Houston 15, I don't know. Luckily, my wife, though, has poured them blind tonight, so we will be able to see which was better. So we got them here in the green and the red. I have no idea which is which, so we'll sit them there. And as a reminder, there's the beautiful Sam Houston 15 from 2021. This bad boy here is PA-3 batch. This one comes in at 103 proof. Compute, 51.5% alcohol by volume. So, 3 proof points less. This is a 3-barrel batch size for PA-3. They only made 498 bottles of this particular batch. Number 4 char level. Give you the mash bill here that says 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% malted barley. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's the same for the Calumet, even though that they don't tell you that in the Calumet. But it's probably the same. I think the batch size is just larger in the Calumets. So, unfortunately, I don't have any Calumet 15 left. I got a sample from my good friend Osheen, but obviously I drank that in my comparison to this. Spoiler alert, I did link it above, but this did win over the Calumet. So this was my favorite high-aged Barton of last year. So we'll see how it compares to the new 16-year-old Calumet. I must say for label, the Calumet wins this year. That Calumet 16 label is on point, even if you don't love horses. Alright, we'll start with the green here. Ooh, it just smells very charry and oaky. Oh, there's a difference. The most minute difference on these. The red one is a tad sweeter. They both have high levels of char, of oak, just predominantly sweet oak caramels. Through and through. But I'm getting a tad more barrel char on the green than I am on the red. I will say that. The red smells a tad sweeter. This smells a tad more charry on it. So we'll start with the red. We'll take a sip here. Wow, that's good. Just good levels of oak. Heavy char. It's almost like a charred marshmallow through there a little bit, like a cherry marshmallow char on that one. Very good. There's a good oak there, but the oak doesn't seem as sweet as the Calumet that we just had. So that might be the Sam Houston, the red glass, but I'm not sure. Alright, the green. Let's take a sip. Tons of sweet oak and caramel through there, some brown sugar on that. At the end, I do get that pop of cherry. Very good. But with them being neck and neck, I will say I enjoyed the higher level of char and almost that like smoky marshmallow off of the green better. So today, the winner for me is the green Glencairn. So let's see which one it was. Got the old trusty answer key here. The green Glencairn is Calumet 16. That does shock me because I used to get a lot of char off of the Sam Houston 15, and that was one of my favorite things about it. I thought it was more charry than the Calumet 15 from last year. But the Calumet 16, that one extra year of aging, they did something special. If you like just a good sweet oak, charred, like marshmallow, a little bit of cherry on there, it is killer. I know the price point's higher than last year, but it is a buy. It is an A+ here. That's what rating we're giving the Calumet 16, is an A+. If you can find it, buy it. You will not be disappointed if you liked high-aged Barton. Most likely, this will be going in my contention for best bourbon of 2022. I gotta say, it's going to be up there for sure. I mean, I know the year's young, but it's going to be in there for sure. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Have a great evening, everybody.